What's up, warriors of wisdom? Today we're diving deep into something that could literally change your life. The moments when staying silent isn't just wrong, it's potentially devastating. You know those times when your gut screams, "Speak up," but your brain freezes? Yeah, we're crushing those barriers today. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 critical situations where your silence could cost you everything: your relationships, your success, even your self-respect. We'll explore each scenario through the lens of ancient Stoic wisdom, but trust me, this isn't your boring philosophy lecture. This is real-world practical knowledge that you can use today. Get ready, because we're about to unlock the power of your voice in ways you never imagined. Hit that like button if you're ready to transform your life through the wisdom of the Stoics. Situation 1. When injustice happens in front of you. Picture this. You're witnessing something clearly wrong happening right before your eyes. Maybe it's workplace discrimination, bullying, or someone being treated unfairly. Your heart's racing, your palms are sweating, and that little voice in your head is saying, "Just mind your own business." But here's the truth bomb. That's exactly when you need to speak up. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said that we are not merely spectators of life, but active participants. When we choose silence in the face of injustice, we become complicit in its perpetuation. Think about it. Every major positive change in history started with someone refusing to stay silent. But let's get real here. Speaking up against injustice isn't just about being a hero. It's about maintaining your integrity and self-respect. The Stoics believe that our actions define our character, and every time we choose silence over speaking truth, we chip away at our own moral foundation. Now you might be thinking, but what if I face consequences? That's where the Stoic concept of courage comes in. Marcus Aurelius taught that doing the right thing might be difficult, but the alternative, living with the knowledge that you could have prevented harm but chose not to, is far worse. Here's the game-changing perspective. When you witness injustice and stay silent, you're not just failing others, you're failing yourself. You're training your mind to prioritize comfort over character, safety over significance. Is that really the person you want to be? But speaking up doesn't mean being reckless. The Stoics also taught us about wisdom in action. Before you speak, assess the situation. Is this the right moment? What's the most effective way to address this? Sometimes, direct confrontation isn't the answer, but complete silence never is. Think about the ripple effect of your words. When you speak up against injustice, you're not just addressing that single moment, you're setting a precedent. You're showing others that it's possible to stand up, that one voice can make a difference. Your action might inspire 10 others to find their voice. The Stoics understood something crucial about human nature. We're social beings with a responsibility to our community. When you stay silent in the face of injustice, you're not just letting down the victim. You're weakening the moral fabric of society. Each small act of cowardice contributes to a larger culture of complicity. But here's the empowering part. Every time you choose to speak up, you're building mental strength. Like a muscle, courage grows stronger with use. The more you practice using your voice, the easier it becomes. What seems impossible today will feel natural tomorrow. Remember this, history doesn't remember the silent observers. It remembers those who stood up when it mattered. Your voice has power, and in moments of injustice, that power becomes your responsibility. The next time you witness something wrong, ask yourself, if not me, then who? Situation 2. When your values are being compromised. Listen up, because this one hits different. We're talking about those moments when someone or something is pushing you to bend your values, to compromise what you believe in. You feel that knot in your stomach, that tension in your shoulders. That's your inner Stoic warrior screaming, "Not today." Here's the brutal truth. Every time you stay silent when your values are under attack, you're not just bending them, you're breaking them. The Stoics weren't just philosophers. They were spiritual warriors who understood that your values aren't just ideas, they're the backbone of your existence. Let's get something straight. Your values aren't some luxury items you can trade away when things get uncomfortable. They're your non-negotiables, your personal constitution. When you let others trample over them without speaking up, you're essentially saying, "My principles are for sale, and the price is comfort." But here's where it gets interesting. And this is something the ancient Stoics nailed. Standing up for your values isn't just about the present moment, it's about who you're becoming. Every time you choose silence over principle, you're programming your future self to be weaker, more compliant, more willing to compromise. Think about this. In the corporate world, in relationships, in any situation where power dynamics exist, people will test your boundaries. They'll push against your values, not always maliciously, but consistently. Your silence in these moments isn't neutrality, it's surrender. The game-changing perspective is this. When you speak up for your values, you're not just defending abstract principles, you're protecting your future peace of mind. The Stoics understood that true tranquility comes not from avoiding conflict, but from knowing you stood firm when it mattered. Here's the power move. When someone challenges your values, they're actually giving you an opportunity to strengthen your convictions, to clarify your boundaries, to show others and yourself what you stand for. Every challenge is a chance to become more authentic. But let's get tactical about this. Speaking up for your values doesn't mean being aggressive or confrontational. The Stoics mastered the art of firm gentleness. You can be unshakable in your principles while being flexible in your approach. The key is clarity, both in your mind and in your communication. Check this out. Research shows that people who consistently stand up for their values experience less anxiety and depression. Why? Because they're not carrying the weight of compromise. They're not lying awake at night, replaying scenarios where they should have spoken up but didn't. Your values are your personal brand, your signature on the world. When you consistently speak up for them, you become a lighthouse, a fixed point of integrity that others can navigate by. And in a world of endless compromise, that's not just admirable, it's revolutionary. Situation 3. When someone's safety is at risk. All right, warriors, now we're entering critical territory. We're talking about those moments when you notice something that could put someone's safety at risk, physical, emotional, or psychological. This isn't just about doing the right thing, it's about preventing potential disasters. The Stoics had a concept called cosmopolitanism, the idea that we're all part of one human family. When you see someone's safety at risk and stay silent, you're not just failing a stranger, you're failing a member of your extended family. Let that sink in for a moment. Here's the mind-blowing truth. Most catastrophic events could have been prevented if someone, often multiple someones, had spoken up earlier. People stay silent because they think, it's probably fine, or someone else will say something. This is what psychologists call the bystander effect, and it's literally killing people. Let me hit you with this perspective. When you notice a safety risk and stay silent, you're not just observing a potential accident, you're participating in its possibility. The Stoics believe that knowledge creates responsibility. Once you see something, you can't unsee it, and that awareness demands action. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think speaking up about safety concerns means becoming the office snitch or the party pooper. Wrong. It means being the adult in the room, the person who values human life and well-being more than temporary comfort or social approval. Check this out. In aviation, there's something called crew resource management. It's based on the principle that anyone, regardless of rank, must speak up if they notice a safety issue. This principle has saved countless lives. Why? Because it prioritizes safety over hierarchy, truth over comfort. The real power move is understanding that speaking up about safety isn't just about preventing immediate danger. It's about creating a culture of consciousness. When you normalize speaking up about safety concerns, you make it easier for others to do the same. You create a ripple effect of protection. Here's the strategy. When you spot a safety risk, remember the 3 C's. Be clear, be concise, be constructive. Don't hint, don't sugarcoat, don't apologize. State what you've observed and why it concerns you. Remember, you're not asking for permission to care about safety. You're exercising your responsibility. But let's keep it real. Speaking up about safety isn't always comfortable. You might face resistance, ridicule, or even hostility. That's where the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control comes in. You can't control how others react, but you can control whether you speak up. Think about this. Years from now, what would haunt you more? The temporary discomfort of speaking up, or the permanent regret of staying silent when you could have prevented harm. Your voice could be the difference between a close call and a catastrophe. Use it. Situation 4. When lies are being spread. Listen up, because this is where things get real. We're diving into one of the most toxic situations where silence is literally poison. When lies are being spread. Whether it's in your workplace, social circle, or even online, staying silent when you know the truth isn't just passive, it's an active choice to let deception win. Here's the thing that would make the Stoics flip. Lies aren't just words floating in the air. They're like viruses that infect decisions, relationships, and entire communities. When you know the truth and choose silence, you're not just a bystander. You're becoming a carrier of that virus. Let's get something crystal clear. The modern world is drowning in misinformation, and everyone's waiting for someone else to be the truth teller. But here's what the Stoics knew. Truth isn't just some abstract concept. It's the foundation of all meaningful human interaction. When you let lies spread, you're helping to erode that foundation. Check this power principle. Speaking truth in the face of lies isn't just about correcting facts. It's about maintaining the integrity of human communication. Think about it. Every time a lie goes unchallenged, it becomes a little bit easier for the next lie to slip through. It's like leaving a crack in a dam. Eventually, everything breaks. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is straight from the Stoic playbook. The way you challenge lies matters just as much as the act itself. You're not trying to destroy the liar. You're trying to destroy the lie. Big difference. This isn't about ego. It's about reality maintenance. Now, let's talk strategy. When you hear a lie being spread, you've got 3 options. Ignore it, wrong. Attack the liar, also wrong. Or present the truth with calm confidence, bingo. The Stoics mastered this third approach. They understood that truth doesn't need anger to be powerful. It just needs to be spoken. Here's the game-changing perspective. Every time you speak up against a lie, you're not just correcting one instance of misinformation. You're strengthening the immune system of your entire social network. You're making it harder for future lies to take root. You're becoming a guardian of truth. But let's keep it real. Speaking up against lies can be scary, especially when those lies are popular or spread by powerful people. That's where the Stoic concept of inner freedom comes in. Your commitment to truth isn't dependent on external approval. It's a contract you make with yourself. Think about this. In the age of social media and instant communication, lies can circle the globe while truth is still putting on its shoes. That means truth tellers need to be more vigilant, more courageous, and more strategic than ever before. Your voice, armed with facts, is more powerful than you realize. Remember this. Every great positive change in history started with someone refusing to participate in a convenient lie. When you speak up for truth, you're not just changing the present conversation. You're voting for the kind of world you want to live in. Situation 5. When your boundaries are being violated. All right, warriors, we're reaching the finale, and this one's personal. We're talking about those moments when someone crosses your boundaries. Those invisible but crucial lines that protect your time, energy, dignity, and peace of mind. And let me tell you, staying silent here isn't just a mistake. It's self-sabotage. Here's the mind-blowing truth that the Stoics understood. Your boundaries aren't just preferences. They're the walls of your personal fortress. Every time you stay silent when they're violated, you're not just letting someone in. You're helping them tear down your own defenses. Let's hit you with this reality check. People will test your boundaries constantly, not always maliciously, but consistently. And here's the kicker. They're not just testing the boundary you're silent about. They're testing your entire framework of self-respect. One silent breach invites a flood. The power principle here is massive. When you speak up about boundary violations, you're not just protecting yourself in the moment. You're programming your future. You're telling both yourself and others, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and this is how I expect to be treated. But here's where most people mess up. They think enforcing boundaries means being mean or aggressive. Wrong. The Stoics mastered the art of gentle strength. You can be firm without being harsh, clear without being cruel. Your boundaries are not up for debate, but your delivery can be diplomatic. Check this out. Research shows that people with clear, well-communicated boundaries actually have better relationships. Why? Because clear boundaries create clear expectations, and clear expectations lead to mutual respect. When you're silent about violations, you're sabotaging this entire system. Here's the revolutionary perspective. Your boundaries are your personal constitution. They're not suggestions, they're not guidelines, they're not flexible depending on who's violating them. They're the fundamental laws of your personal kingdom, and you're the only one responsible for enforcing them. The strategy is simple but powerful. When someone violates your boundaries, respond immediately, clearly, and consistently. Don't wait for the second or third violation. Don't hope they'll get the hint. Don't compromise to keep the peace. Peace without boundaries is just surrender in disguise. But let's get real about something. Enforcing boundaries can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to it. That's where the Stoic principle of discomfort tolerance comes in. Your temporary discomfort in speaking up is nothing compared to the chronic pain of having your boundaries constantly violated. Here's your final power move. Every time you speak up for your boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself. You're teaching others how to treat you, and you're setting an example for everyone watching. Your voice becomes a blueprint for others learning to protect their own boundaries. And there you have it, warriors. These 5 situations where silence is not an option are your blueprint for living with integrity, courage, and self-respect. Remember, your voice isn't just a tool for communication. It's a weapon for positive change, a shield for protection, and a beacon for others. If this video hit home, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Drop a comment below, sharing which situation resonated with you the most. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated on more wisdom drops like this. Until next time, keep speaking up, standing strong, and living with purpose. Peace out, warriors.